Look, I'll be completely honest with you. I have a bone to pick. Today, I'm gonna take on the biggest, most powerful industry in the entire world. Big Pharma. You see, Big Pharma makes its money selling sick people really expensive drugs. The medical system is completely broken because it is based around treating people once they already get sick and giving them prescription meds that they have to take for the rest of their lives to treat the symptoms, not the underlying causes. This is something that I've developed a real passion for. Over the last few years, I've become really intrigued in the medical system and trying to make it better. And one of the best things that everybody can do to stay ahead of their health is doing regular blood work, because this lets you see an inside look of what's actually happening inside your body, so that way you can get ahead of it and actually treat the underlying causes rather than the symptoms. And so today, I'm going to use AI and Lovable to help fix this problem, building our own AI blood tracking analysis tool, which will help us better diagnose, better track, and better analyze blood results as you get them. Now, I want to put this out there that I will not be releasing this tool as it does require it to be HIPAA compliant, but I will be showing you how to build your own tool that does something similar and is showing you the entire process of what it takes to really build an app from start to finish. So let's switch over to the computer and let's get into it. Okay, so after answering some questions, I finally was able to land on this PRD. I'm going to ask it to simplify this for, actually I'll say, make this ideal for a prompt to Lovable. Okay, so I'm going to simplify this a bit more, and we're going to copy this. We actually don't need the restraints, but let me take a look. So we'll go in here, and I'm also going to connect it to a Superbase account. Make this also here. Connect. So actually we'll use Lovable Cloud for this, which is Lovable's new built-in database. Okay, so it looks like we have our first version of the product. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the design it came up with here. So I'm going to tell it to get rid of the gradient, make it more professional looking. While this is doing this, I'm going to start playing around and see what we got here. Okay, so after a bit of tweaking, I was able to land on this. So let's see what we have so far. So you have the sign up here. So it's asking to confirm this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to turn this off here. So we go to authentication, we go to policies, or it could be, oops. Going to turn this off here, so we don't need to do that. Remove the need to confirm email. We're going to approve the database change. Okay. Not sure why I just took us in here, but we'll take it. So this is kind of the first version. So what you can see here is that it's taking kind of all the different, this is all mock data, but it's taking all the potential blood results that you can get. So this is all mock data, but what it's basically trying to do is it's taking all the different benchmarkers you can get from a blood result, and it's showing you where you fall within the certain ranges and where you fall, if you fall inside, normal, optimal, etc. We'll also be able to see the benchmarks here. I believe this is how you, so this is how you can search and see the trend lines and see when different tests were done based on which benchmark you're looking for. Insights, this should give you some kind of insights on how you can improve this and an overall health score. And then this is where you would then upload the documents. So overall, it's pretty solid for a first version. Now obviously none of this data is really working right now. If we take a look at our Superbase here that we connected, it's created a few different tabs. You have your benchmarker history. So this is where it would show all the different, basically save all the benchmarks. Oh, shit. Biomarkers. So this is, I guess, the individual biomarkers here. And then this is the user data. So yeah, we're going to want to clean this up a bit. Clearly, a lot of dummy data right now. So let's actually try to get this to work. So let's start with the front end first. There's a few things I think we could probably make a bit better. The first thing is I think I'm going to say remove the history tab. We'll first click on here. We'll say remove the history tab here. Instead, show this history details when you click into I'm just curious what we're calling it, a biomarker on the latest tab. So essentially what I want to happen is instead of having the history here and having it basically search by this, I'd prefer if you can kind of click into each and see the history. So let's see if that does that. While we're waiting, we can kind of start prompting out what we're going to do next. So the biggest functionality thing is that this needs to actually save in the database every time you upload. And then let's see, insights need to actually use the real data. And we'll probably need to connect to OpenAI for that as well. Okay, so we can see now that this works well. So when you click into each, it shows you the biomarker, or is trying to do that. It doesn't seem like it's, we want to tell it to, when you click into a biomarker, show the history of that biomarker. Right now, it doesn't filter by anything. Okay, so now what's kind of happening here is you can see it is switching, but it's trying to pull the real data, and since we don't have any real data, it's not working. So we need to kind of get rid of the mock data here. So we're going to tell it delete all mock data being used on this app. What this should do is delete everything here. See if this works. Okay, so there we have it. We now have our data is clean. So no insights, no upload. So what I've done here is just to test. And I don't think this is going to work, but let's preview this. We'll go here. Actually, no, we'll do it here. Okay. Downloaded a mock blood panel from ChatGPT. And so I'm giving this here, and I'm not sure. Okay, so this doesn't seem like it's doing anything, probably because we didn't set up any edge functions. So now we actually need to get this to work. So we're going to tell it, build out a edge function to scan PDF files to extract the biomarker from it. Then add biomarkers to biomarkers table. Biomarkers table. So basically what we are going to ask it to do is basically just create a edge function. An edge function in Superbase is basically a backend function that does something that is through the servers on Superbase or your backend side, so that the user is not needing to wait while something happens in the background. So basically, we're going to see if we can use some kind of PDF extractor to pull out these results and then see if we can save them to the database. So give this a second. Okay, so it finished up here. Now you can see that we have an edge function here, which is also using, I believe, OpenAI to help extract here. So let's see what happens now when we upload this document. Try here. Okay, so it does seem like it's processing now, which is a good sign. Let's take a look at our logs here, see if it's actually firing up. So it does seem like it's doing something. Give it a bit, and it failed. Let's take a look at our logs to see why. Okay. So it looks like we have a few errors here. Error with OpenAI, failed to press markers. While we take a look at this, let's get edge function failed. Take a look at logs to figure out why. And we're using chat mode here. I should have highlighted that. This does a better job of actually analyzing what's wrong, and then it'll suggest the best course of action. So we're going to let it cook here. Okay, so you can see we have the AI response, constraint wrapped. So this is just fixing one of the issues, not all of them. So right now we are just going to be using chat mode until we can kind of get a solid plan in place. Looks like we had 3 different errors. One was from the parsing, one was from OpenAI, another was on the PDF processing itself. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Have a more well-rounded. Okay, let's run this, see what it does. Okay, so it looks like it's finished. Let's try running this again, see what happens. So I'm going to give it the report. Okay, so it looked like it potentially worked. Let's take a look at our logs to confirm this. Okay, that's good. Now let's see if this actually... Oh wow, this is great. So if you just look at the PDF also, just to compare here. So this is the data we gave it. It's obviously dummy data, but let's see if everything is here. Just want to cross-reference to see if it pulled everything in, because I feel like there's some stuff missing here. 1, we have 3, 6, 9, 10. There's definitely more than 10 things here. Let's see, we don't have... Do you have whiteboard count? Is this actually pulling the real... Let's see, so... kind of confused. Here, let's look at our glucose, for example. Okay, it didn't look like it pulled in any of the glucose. So... So it doesn't seem like it's actually cholesterol, for example. 4.6. I don't know where this is pulling. This does not look right. Unless it's converting it. It could be what's happening. Because it looks like they're different too. Okay, so this just looks like it's making up data. So let's ask it what's going on here. Looks like the data is not being pulled in right. We're missing biomarkers, and the biomarkers that were added aren't the right value. Let's make sure the format of the values I just want to see if any of these are right. So if we look at hemoglobin, 15.2. This is 14.2. Okay, so it looked like it was using some mock data here, and that's why it was just kind of making stuff up. Okay, so now we want to make the AI insights actually work. We have our data here. Now we want to actually have it pull in data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to platform.openai.com, and I'm going to go to this blood lab project that I've created here, and I'm going to, let's see where it is, go to dashboard, and we're going to go to API keys, and I'm going to create a new key. We'll call this, actually I don't need to call anything, and we'll click save, and we'll copy this. Editors, blur that out, please. And blur this out as well. And then we are going to submit it in here. And this will feed it right into Lovable's backend here, or sorry, Superbase's backend, to make this work. Okay, so give it a bit of time here, and let's see. I'm going to let this refresh. Let's see what we got. So if I go here. Okay, there we go. So it's giving us some recommendations. It's saying our LCD cholesterol is a bit low, which does show that, though it looks like it is high. Looks like we have an issue with it constantly refreshing also. Okay, sorry. No, I just read this wrong. So yeah, it is saying it's high. It's giving us some recommendations: increase physical activity, vitamin D, which is borderline, crucial, increase in exposure. So this is saying it's too low. These are all saying that are relatively good. So it's saying overall 86. Which does reflect this dummy data, which only shows two things are out. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is now try to show the history here. Now we don't have any historical data, but I still want to show the graph and show maybe some improvements. So I'm going to say even when there is no historical data, show the graph for each biomarker and include suggestions to improve it if needed. Okay, so this has finished up, and let's see, and just like this, there we have it. Now I don't know why it's showing 3 different glucoses. It could be because we've tried to upload it a few different times, and there could be some data issues here, but let's just run with it and assume that is the case. And you can see for the ones that are not as well, it has some suggestions under it as well, which is cool. Now I'm noticing that it's also creating a bit of an issue here. So let's just fix that. We'll say have the suggestions not on the cards, but inside the graph page. Okay, so just like that, you can see it removed the suggestions added in here. And I think we have ourselves a basic but working app. And if you look at the Superbase here, you can see that everything is actually being saved in the database. We'll go to tables. Table editor here. And you can see all this data is actually being saved. It's using the unit, the values. Now, no history is there because we haven't added another one, but hypothetically speaking, it should add in the history as you continue to go along. So there you have it. This is how you build a really simple yet effective app that can help you with your health in about 15, 20, 30 minutes with Lovable and Superbase. I'm not technical, and I was able to build this pretty simply by using a mix of different strategies and debugging, and chat mode is super helpful in this process. So if you want more videos like this, drop a like and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Cheers.